Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Sista-Cousins. COVID-19, aka the Rona. Is this our new normal? And if so, are you ready? Okay,
Oh, Jesus.
let's talk about these hair and nail salons. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I am a licensed cosmetologist and barber. I've been licensed cosmetologist for 20 years this year. And I recently went back to work into the salon. Was it last Saturday? Was my first week back last Saturday? Last Friday. I wore that mask that covers my entire face. And I have a customer who likes to talk a lot. I almost died with that mask on. I said, oh no, I ain't gonna be able to wear this one. So I had to change from the one I felt more protected in to, the more disposable ones was more breathable. I did that on Saturday. However, the salon atmosphere has changed. We are asking, when you schedule your appointment, we ask you all the COVID questions, about your fever, have you been exposed, blah, blah, blah. We schedule an appointment. We ask that you do not bring anything inside with you except a credit card and your phone. No coats, no purses, no bags, no anything. When everybody comes in, they have to fill out all new forms. You could have been a customer for 12 years. We need you to fill out all new information. So if you happen to find out somebody we're exposed to, we can call everybody. Whenever a customer comes in, you have to sanitize, wipe down everything. If I am working on a customer, my customer goes to the restroom, I have to stop with her or him, go clean that bathroom, because if your customer goes in there, then it's a lot of work. We have a reduction of how many customers we can do per day. So Corona is not only impacting the health of people, is also impacting people's pockets. So normally when I could be working on one customer while this one is under the dryer. I can't do that anymore. I have to solely work with one. So if a customer is late, depending on if they come in their window while I'm cleaning, you have to sit in your car, and they can't come and sit in the lobby. They have to wait in their car until I call them and say, okay, I'm ready for you to come in. And so it has been very different. It's very different. And so some salons and stylists have increased their prices. I've heard that too. People are trying to recover from these 3 to 4 months that we were out. Now, I'm a customer and a stylist, so I don't feel that is fair, because what if my customer, they didn't work during this time? They have to watch their coins too. So I don't think it's fair that we put an extra $1 or $2 or $5 or $20 on a service because you missed out on your money. It is what it is. We just all got to work and get back to it. So I have not had my hair done or my nails done. So I don't know, Daniel. I think when we first started this, you were at the nail salon getting your nails done.
Yes. So let me tell you about that experience. So I never stopped getting my hair cut. That can't happen, girl.
Who's cutting your hair? I'm gonna turn them in. Who's cutting your hair?
Mind your business, Craig. Mind your business. So listen.
I snitch.
The nail salon experience was different. So I made an appointment. I had an appointment. When you get there, you go in, you sign in. You can't wait around. You can't pick your color and wait. You get sent to your car, and they're like, we'll come out and get you when we're ready.
Wait, you come in and sign in and then go back to your car?
Yes. So you go back to your car.
Exposed.
Listen, so you go back to your car, and they require you to wear a mask. You either have to come in with one, or you have to purchase one. They're going to get their money. They're going to make you purchase one.
$5?
It was only $1. So
okay.
Anyway, but so when you sat down to get the pedicure, you had your feet in the thing, but it was this plexiglass between, like, your feet were in there, and then it was this plexiglass up there, and they were on the other side, and they could get to your feet and everything from there. So I was okay with that, as long as you rub them feet right. So then, excuse her, she's very sleepy. When you moved over to the nail area, which I haven't been back yet because I just haven't had an opportunity. But they had, the plexiglass up there for you as well. So it wasn't. So they always have on masks. They've always had on masks. So it was nothing new for them. But now their customers have to have on masks. And it wasn't a real issue for me. I did like that it wasn't a lot of people in there. So I like that process. But what I'm seeing basically with any service provider like you, a good friend, the guy who cuts my hair, he wasn't cutting nobody else's hair, but you cut my hair. Cause you
he was cutting somebody else's hair, trust and believe. My husband's barber, he was working on, his barbershop is in the same city where I work. And one day, in the same place I'll get my massages, in the bank, they had glass windows. All the windows were covered with it looked like brown paper bag. But his car was always in the back. I told him, I said, oh boy is working. You probably want to, you know what I'm saying? Oh boy is working. And so he's like, he probably is. And so one day, I don't know if he called or he went past or whatever. He was like, yeah, he working. So.
Oh, I mean, he probably was cutting somebody else's hair. I really didn't care as long as he's cutting my hair. But
do you wear masks?
Yes, and he does too. And when and he is very good at sanitizing in between clients because I'm not trying to catch the Rona. I don't want the Rona. Now, am I planning on going to get my nails done again? Yes and no. I really just want to go get a pedicure. I really don't care if I get my nails done, but I do like to have my pedicure. And I don't want to do it because I got two stomachs, and it's hard to bend over and do your own toes when you got two stomachs. So I need to go pay Lee now to go ahead and handle that for me because they ain't got to do that much work. Ming Lee.
Lord Jesus.
Her name is Ming Lee.
Juwan, do you have anything to say about the nail and hair? You got your hair done.
I did get my hair done. I've only got my hair done once. I don't get my nails done, so that never happens. But yeah, I did get my hair done, and actually the experience wasn't too bad. It's a lady that I use often. She's really the only one who does my hair, and I don't go get my hair done that often. But she did require me to wear a mask. But that was pretty much it. I mean, it wasn't like she didn't take my temperature, made me wash my hands or anything. But, I don't know if she may do that in the future if this thing doesn't, if the numbers don't go down. But, I mean, overall, the experience was okay. And I was okay with the mask, wearing a mask during that. So I don't have a problem with that. But I don't think I would be one that would go I have some friends who go weekly to get their, hair done or, get their nails done, every week or whatever. I don't think I would do that, especially not now during this time. But, but yeah, I don't see a problem with you actually going to get your, your hair, your nails done.
I think the biggest thing for me is usually the people that we're going to for these services are people we've been using for years. And so you may already feel a sense of comfort with them. And hopefully they're going to do everything in their power to protect their clients because that's also their livelihood. And having sat at home for 3 months, people in New York just got to go back to work this week. And, they already charge astronomical prices. And then to be out of work for 3 months, can you just imagine how much money they lost? So I think that with following the CDC guidelines that have been placed out there and then following the guidelines of your prospective state or county, you're protecting yourself and your clientele. So I don't see anything wrong with it. As a consumer, I don't technically have an issue with it. I think, if I want to have a moment I will tell y'all, the first thing I did when they opened up the salon is I made an appointment to get a Brazilian because it was looking like 1973 down there. And I couldn't take it no more. So I did that. before I got my nails
Oh
done or my
my God.
toes done.
Excuse
TMI.
me.
Way
What does
too much information.
1973 look like?
Woo! Girl, it was bushy. It was bushy. So
Oh Lord.
my first appointment. Like I left work to get to that appointment, okay?
Well,
So and I had to wear a mask and wash my hands and use hand sanitizer, even though I wasn't doing those services, but it was cool.
so I had decided last year about, I think it was October, November. I had took a break from all of my service, getting my service. It was my hair, well, my nails, my pedicure, my waxing, eyelashes. Only thing I think I was getting done were my eyebrows. And it was
You was doing the
because
most.
I know. Listen, I had goals in 2020. Okay, I was trying to. I want that savings account to be at a certain point. COVID just messed all that up. All right, because my hair salon side hustle was part of my, what I was gonna do. So I'm down a couple stacks. But shut up, mother was like, yeah, right. Down a couple stacks. But I had stopped getting those services done anyway, so it wasn't a big thing for me. Like, oh yeah, the nail salons is back open. Oh, my girl back doing waxes, because so I just kind of grew myself, a little bit to keep myself nice and manicured. But I don't know. It's been a lot of. I was probably spending a good $300 to $400 a month on services.
Bruh, listen.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Let me hold something.
Yeah.
Obviously, you a baller, so let me hold something because I ain't doing that.
Listen, I start making my own wigs. I start filing my own toenails, filing my own nails, and I handle that. I manicure on my own. But yeah, that's a lot.
Girl,
I think there's a bigger picture here, though.
Yeah, I'm trying
Because,
to watch them doing.
well, for me, it's because I am a business owner, so I understand the need for us to have business at least get back to normal. I mean, people have put their life savings into their businesses. They have all of their, funds wrapped up in this, and then for us not to open, I mean, that could make or break somebody. So as a small business owner, I understand the need that, hey, we have to do something. My heart goes out to small businesses because I know even here in the area where I'm at, I have a lot of friends who have had to close doors. I've seen a lot of businesses close because they, although, people are at home, guess what? They still got to pay rent. But when you don't have customers, you don't have money to pay rent. You don't have money to pay for your building. For some of my small business owners, they weren't able to pivot their business. For example, they may have had a brick and mortar shop, but they had never done anything online. So when this happened, they weren't prepared. So it's like, when I look at that, my heart goes out to them. I understand the need for us to reopen because these are people's livelihoods. This is going to make or break them. And some people have all of their finances tied up in their small business. But then again, it's like you have this other side where now it's a safety concern. So what do? So it's a very complicated subject. I understand both sides, the need to reopen and the need for us to get back to business,
I understand both sides, but I think about it too. I mean, for sure. I mean, small business, I have a desire to be a business owner myself and not have to wait on a check from, somebody paying me. But I thought about it, I'm like, well, I guess if I'm dead, I ain't got to worry about no customers because I'm not doing anybody's hair. However, when people are, when they do have a business and especially if they employ other people, not only are your pockets affected, but,
everybody
it affects everybody else too. And so, yeah, I don't know what we're going to look like going forward. So the next point we want to talk about how COVID affects travel. Now, y'all know I'm a girl that hops on a plane and I'm there. I like to travel. This year is my 20th year anniversary and we were going to go to Greece. And so I asked my husband, I said, hey, if Corona's over in July, you think we can still go? And he was like, no. So I'm a little bummed out about that. I mean, I definitely don't want to be sick, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And the flight like that, you're on a flight for a long time, sucking the same air, just circulating. Airplane
Right.
air is horrible. Prior to COVID, I was always a girl who wore a mask or a scarf over my mouth. It wasn't because I was afraid of a virus. It's just that if I were to fall asleep and that air blows on me, I wake up sick as a dog. I mean, I can hold my head over, and I mean, just
Yeah.
waterfalls of snot. And so I have always worn a mask or a scarf around my face. And I've always taken my little bleach wipes and wiped down the armrest, the little where you eat, the little tray where you eat your food. And if you touch in the window, I always wipe that stuff down. So that is something that is not going to be new for me, but I imagine, that's what people are going to have to start doing. Now they say, you get all these little, we're taking precautions, we're with you. And I'm thinking to myself that, like that meme say, where was you at when my luggage was 52 pounds? You know, you was charging me an extra $50. We weren't together then, but now you want me to fly because you won't have no business or whatever. So I imagine that it's going to affect the travel world. It's going to be less flights. They're never going to be any overbooking of flights. It's only going to be limited people to be on a flight. And the flight could be cheaper, or it could be more expensive. It could be more expensive because they don't have enough, so they got to recoup that money from somewhere. Or they could be cheaper because it's like, hey, we just need somebody to fly so we can, get this plane going.
Let me say, so a lot of the airlines have been saying, in response to COVID-19, we're only going to have limited seats. We're going to leave the middle seat empty. Blase. They still packing them in like sardines at the
Really?
welfare office. Baby, flights are overbooked. Flights are overbooked. What? Sardines at the welfare office? Girl, I heard them sardines on fire. Anyway, so flights have been overbooked. There's no way they're sanitizing them the way that they should, because they're getting you off, in 10 seconds after they get off, they putting about 35 more people on there. So the cleaning is not what it should be. So you will not catch your girl on no flights no time soon. I was supposed to go to Italy this year for my birthday. I was going to take my first international trip. I was taking it by myself. I was excited. I was going to get me one of them little slick-haired Italians to take me around and eat some pizza and stuff. But it didn't work out. And so now, for my birthday, I have absolutely no plans. Y'all know how I feel about my birthday. Y'all know that's a national holiday now. So to not have any plans on this national holiday that's coming up, it's a little issue. However, if it comes to any type of travel, going anywhere, doing anything, we will be road tripping it, okay? We're not getting on no flight.
I don't like riding no car. I ain't going nowhere.
Let's say, I took a quick day trip this weekend. I went and picked up my rental. Look, guy talking to me with the rental office. While he's talking, I'm Lysol in the inside of the vehicle. He's like, well, man, we cleaned them. I said, that's good. Then he tried to hand me the keys. He's trying to hand me the keys, and he got gloves on, and he done been to this area. I was like, put him right there on the seat so I can spray him again. Well, man, we clean. Cross-contamination, bro. I don't know you like that. So.
Yeah, I don't see myself traveling. I don't see myself traveling anywhere as far as on a plane anywhere soon. But we have traveled like out of state. We travel actually quite frequently out of state. But I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I don't believe that. I think when they start opening everything back, people are so sick of being in the house. I think it's going to be a mass wave of people traveling or going places. So I don't think, I think there's going to be some that's going to be precautious, but I think for the most part, people are going to start, going places again. So it will be interesting me to see what precautions airlines are going to take. What are they going to have set forth to make sure that people are safe while they're traveling? So it'll be interesting to see.
I got emails from Southwest, American, Delta, all of them. They swear that they, that they wiping down and they cleaning, they doing extra this and they doing extra that. Listen, to me, I am a traveler. I like to travel. So it goes back to, I'm going to live my life and I'm not going to live afraid.
Right.
To me, it's like if you're saying you're afraid to travel, then you're saying that you're afraid. I am going to take the same precautions that I have always done, although it wasn't coronavirus, protection, but those are things that, you have to do, whatever. And I mean, still gonna wear my mask. Now you have to wear it in the airport. You gotta wipe down the seats in the airport. If you sit down at the table to get something to eat, it just depends. Life is really short, and
Right.
it's scary. You just really don't know. My thing is that whatever it is that you do, you just gotta pray, child. And if it is what it is, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
so
live your life. Live your life.
you have
Off
to.
a plane. Live your life off of a plane. Okay.
Well, I
Okay,
don't
how
travel
about
that much anyway, so not on a plane
Good.
anyway. We travel mostly by car.
Unless my employer is paying for it, I ain't going. Okay.
I'm gonna try to get to Greece as soon as I can, but you know how that is.
I can hook you up. Look, you go get you a what is it called? The little Greek cheese and spinach pie out of the frozen section at Trader Joe's. Girl, let me like Greek. Get your gyro. Get your gyro.
Hey, give me some beach in the sand. How about that? Can you do that?
I get you a beach and some sand. You want me to ship it to you?
No thanks. I want to fly to it. What about restaurants? How do you guys see restaurants? I mean, I guess you're excited about that. One of my favorite restaurants in Texas, they are closing down all of Papa Do's in Houston.
Girl, no.
Yes,
Really?
in Houston, yes.
Wow.
Do the people in Houston know?
Listen, I don't understand it. I live in San Antonio. San Antonio have 2 locations. I haven't heard anything about those. But San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the U.S. Houston is the 4th largest city in the U.S. They have 5. So I don't see how they're closing. Even if they weren't open to service people, that's a restaurant that people were taking food out. I'm 100%. I can guarantee
they
people
were. I know for a fact it was a lot of takeout going on at Papa Do's because every time I looked up, one of my homegirls on Instagram was like, Papa Do's, Papa Do's.
Listen, somebody must be stealing off the top. That's the only way I can see that. They trying to pretend like they wasn't getting them coins, but somebody was stealing. Papa Do's is popping, okay?
I think what the issue is that, and I heard this from a lot of restaurant owners here in Tallahassee, is that they weren't able to recoup from their lunch and dinner crowds. I mean, they got the takeout orders, but the amount of traffic that they would get during those, high volume hours, it didn't equate to the amount that they had at takeout. So yeah, I'm shocked like you. I didn't think that they would close,
Listen, Linda, listen. Somebody lying.
I don't believe that. Now,
so let me tell you how I feel about the whole restaurant situation. I'm gonna go ahead and get my takeout because I ain't opposed to that because y'all know your girl like to eat, right? That's why I got these 2 stomachs. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna sit down in your restaurant to eat and you walking around with a mask and some gloves on to serve me, and I'm supposed to just sit there with my mouth all open, inhaling. Nah, bro, no. Let me get that curbside order.
Wait, I don't understand. Explain that to me.
So here, when you go to a restaurant, the servers, even the people, the maitre d', everybody got on masks when you come in, right? When they are coming to your table, they have on masks, they have on gloves. You're sitting at your table, maskless and gloveless, getting ready to eat. Exactly. So they
gonna eat with a mask on.
But if you get that curbside order and take it home, you can eat just fine because you don't need no mask and no gloves at the house. It's just an issue for me. Like, you literally have on mask and gloves, and I'm supposed to sit here with no, man. It just doesn't add up. So that's just I won't be doing it for some time. And y'all know my birthday, I'm just reminding them of my birthday audience because I don't want them to forget that national holiday is less than a month away, and so that they can make sure that they call me. But anyway, my birthday, y'all know I always go out for my birthday. Y'all know my favorite restaurant is Ruth's Chris. I like to take myself to Ruth's Chris for my birthday. I'm gonna have to get a to-go order
It ain't gonna be the same, girl. By the time you get the mashed potatoes home or them crab cakes, they're gonna be dry as hell. You don't want that.
Look, they gonna be dry in my mouth at home because I'm not eating that Ruth Chris.
I like Ruth Chris, but them crab cakes gonna be dry, honey. And that macaroni and cheese ain't gonna be good. Don't even do it.
First of all, they lobster mac and cheese don't reheat well anyway, so it don't matter.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you just might as well stay home and cook at home. Take out food that is meant to. Okay, just like you going to a restaurant, to a Mexican. Let me get some nachos. You can't eat no nacho. You can't take no nachos home. You gotta eat them at the restaurant.
No, you can't. You take them nachos home, but you make sure they give you an extra bag of chips, girl. That way you can, because you know your nacho chips gonna already be soggy. But if you got the extra chips, then you can scoop them up with the extra chips and eat the soggy. Yeah, girl. It's a method to the madness. See, you ain't never been fat. You ain't never been fat, and so you don't understand.
What do you consider fat?
Girl, you know my pants was rubbing together, setting my soul on fire. Don't play.
But your body, your fat and my fat is two different fat. That mean I'm not fat because I ain't your size.
Are we gonna have a episode about body dysmorphia? Good. Ain't nothing ever been said on you. Okay. Anyway, how do you feel about restaurants?
I'm not against going to a restaurant. We have been to several. I don't cook, for y'all who don't know. I don't say I don't cook. I don't like to cook. I don't like to cook.
But
so
she
usually,
likes to eat.
I do like to eat. I do like to eat. Usually, but I do cook because I have kids. They gotta eat, so I do cook. But we have been out. We've never eaten out a lot. But every now and again, like, you know, I think we've been out maybe twice this month. And we did the curbside. Once we went out to actually eat at a restaurant, and then one we actually got a curbside. So we don't do it often, but I don't have a problem with eating out. I think you just, it's like, I just can't, it goes back to me. I can't live in fear. I'm going to pray over my food. I'm going to do the best I can to kind of disinfect, but I'm going to eat. It's like, I'm not going to not go places or do things because I'm scared I'm going to get this virus. So, you know, you just take it day by day.
One suggestion, if you go to a restaurant, now this has zero to do with COVID, right? I've always had a problem at those restaurants. You see some restaurants, they have that bucket of water and that towel. They've been wiping down all 50 of their tables with that same nasty towel, okay? That disgusts me to death. Another thing I used to do, got my little bleach wipes, wipe that down, because you can't tell me that, listen, you got these little snot-nosed kids blowing boogers and snot and falling all out everywhere. You got Big Bob, that's a trucker that it came out of his truck sitting at the table, and you wiping down Big Bob's table, and you're going to come over here and wait, no, I'm good. Don't worry, we straight. Don't come over here. We all right. Listen, you have to take extra precautions. Keep you some bleach wipes in your purse, honey, and wipe down your table and your chairs when you go eat. I'm not mad.
What are bleach wipes, cousin? Because you know, can't nobody find no Clorox wipes nowhere. So you taking paper towel and putting bleach in a Ziploc? Because you know, I know you do everything with Ziploc. I keep in that. You know, I always had that. Like when I go on the planes, I would buy the ones that you get like 99 cents, like at Walmart. And sometimes if you open them, like the flap never closed, so I always put them, and I always end up with multiple of those packs into a Ziploc bag, and I'll take my Ziploc bag. I've always done that. I'm a germaphobe, y'all know this already. But it's even now, is you have to do that stuff now, whatever. Yeah. You just have to in order to protect it. It's so crazy that you got to do this kind of stuff. You know, you would think that the burden of responsibility falls on a restaurant or a place you go to, but who you're hiring. They may have protocol, but you got a 17-year-old or a 22-year-old goofball who don't even care. They don't care. Yeah. They have doing everything or whatever. So you just gotta protect yourself or whatever. Keep some hand sanitizer and your bleach wipes, and you're gonna go and do your thing.
And it's about where you're going to, because it's like I wouldn't necessarily visit my hole in the walls that I normally would now.
Now,
Right.
those might be the cleanest places, though.
Just because of everything that's going on. So it's really about where you're going to. Like, for example, we went to one of the places we went was for an Italian restaurant. So they had the chairs 6 feet, the table 6 feet apart. It was like every other table was full. They weren't using the bucket and the towel. They had actually Clorox things that they were spraying on the tables when you were done. They sprayed down the little thing you put your money in and handed that. They sprayed that down once you were done. They sprayed down the seats once you were done. They were wearing masks and they did have gloves. But the one thing that I did notice on them is that when they were working with you, they were taking gloves off. So literally she had like 20 gloves in her pocket, because every time she left a table, she would have to take off gloves, which I thought, most companies are doing that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, they really got it. I felt kind of safe. They really had their stuff together. I also went to this one Thai restaurant that I really like. They had like the best egg rolls ever. But when I walked in there, like, I was shocked because I called and asked if they were open. They was like, yeah, but we only do takeout order. So when I walked in, like, literally they had tables. You go in the door and you're met at tables. Like, you can't even there's a little space for you to stand. And that's it. They had everything blocked off. Like, she does not hand you the bag. She like put it on the table and you gotta reach over there and get it. I was like, okay. I get it.
I ain't mad at her.
It just depends on where you eating at. But some people are out. Yeah, she was like, I ain't touching nothing. You can grab your own bag. They had wipes there if you want to wipe down the little bag she gave you. She had gloves and a mask on. Of course I had my mask on, but it was like, okay, this is different.
Yeah, there was one spot. Right. There was one spot, like they had a door, a secondary door that you would usually go through. Well, they had closed that door. They had cut a hole in the door and put like plexiglass up there, and then, had it set up where you can slide your stuff through the door. They can slide your food back to you. And if you use one of the pens to sign your credit card receipt, they would tell you to drop the pen in the buckets because it needs to be sanitized so nobody else can use it. So, taking precautions. It's different. It's crazy. It's stressful. And I guess for me, it's stressful for everybody. It's not just stressful for me. It's stressful for everybody. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from it all. Yeah, if this is our new normal, how are we going to adjust to this new normal and not lose our minds?
Well, the thing is, the thing I struggle with is not knowing what the protocols are. Like, every place is different. Like, I went to the bank to open up an account. So you get there, the doors are locked. So you got to call them and let them know you're outside. So I call them and say, hey, I'm here for an appointment that I'm scheduled. I'm thinking they're just going to do a one-on-one with me. Of course, we'll be socially distancing. They wouldn't even let me in the building. So they was like, you fill out your paperwork out here. And then they didn't even have a chair or a table. So literally, he was like, well, you can go back to your car and fill out the paperwork. I'm like, if you're going to make me sit outside, at least have a setup for me to sit outside.
Right.
I was opening an account. So I had forms I had to sign and all of that. So I end up having to go back to my car, do the forms, and then you got to call them again and let them know that you're done. So then when you're done, they come to the door. They're 6 feet apart, so they have you put it on the garbage can. They have you stand 6 feet back. They have you put it on top of the garbage can. Then they come out and grab it, and it was like, y'all got to do better than this. Look, y'all got to do better than this. So it was like the whole experience was like, okay, can we at least do something a little bit better? At least have a chair, maybe a table, that you could put it on, and maybe you could say, hey, a little thing that says you stand here, and then we'll come out and get it. But the whole thing kind of made me like, you know what? I ain't going back here. I don't know. I felt some kind of way with that. But it's like every place I go, I never know. The anxiety for me is trying to figure out what is the protocol here. What do I need to do, or what can I do, or what am I supposed to do? And for example, like I went to the post office a couple of weeks ago. Now I looked at their door to see what their sign was. They had nothing on the outside of the door. So I'm thinking, okay, you don't have to wear masks. So I didn't put I had my mask with me, but I was like, do I wear it? Do I not wear it? Whatever. So I had it in my hand. So you get inside, they have the little circles that say stand here. They're 6 feet apart. And then on the table, it has masks are mandatory. So there was like 8 people that were there who didn't know they were supposed to have a mask on. They had the plexiglass up, and then they waited till they got to the window to tell them that, I'm sorry, we can't serve you because you don't have a mask on. It's like, oh, come on now. So it's like, it's just, these people was
Right.
there. I mean, it was busy. I mean, it was like 20-minute wait to get up to that window. Then you get up to the window and they say, hey, I'm sorry, but on our table it says you have to have a mask on. We can't see you. And it's like, I'm
Okay,
already
that
here.
should be on your door.
So
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just that to me is like makes me not even want to come out the house. I just stay at home because I ain't got time for all that.
I went to pick up new glasses, and usually when you pick up your glasses, you go into the optometrist, you sit down with the little guy, and they make sure everything fits. No, when you got there, you called them to let you know that then they would come out to your car and bring them to you and then ask you to try them on. And if you needed them adjusted, then they would send somebody else out to your car to see what needed to be adjusted. Then they would take your glasses back in, adjust them, and bring them back. Really? I just really wanted my glasses. I didn't want to go through all that. But so, yeah, it's really different. And like you said, every place has different protocols. Nothing is the same. Nothing is universal. And not every place is posting things. It's just exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
You just need to do better overall.
My thing is stay at home.
Basically,
don't go nowhere.
Uber Eats, dinner down what all them food delivery places.
Let me say about, okay, in the thick of Rona, I ordered some Chipotle. It was through, I think it was Uber Eats. Girl, that person rang my doorbell. I had to come down. My food was sitting on the ground. I was upset. Why are they sitting my food on the ground?
And the reason
I guess it's touchless or contactless.
Yes,
Right.
contactless delivery. All the delivery places has contactless delivery. Even if you order a pizza, if you're not paying with cash, they will sit it on the ground.
So the thing is that in our house, we actually put a table out there if we decide to
Oh.
order, so they can leave it on the table.
That's nice.
But yeah. So it's like everybody's doing that. So even like when we order groceries, like sometimes we order groceries from Publix or whatever if we don't want to go to the store.
A Walmart.
Yeah, so I know, or Walmart. So yeah, they'll deliver it and they'll put everything they'll put everything on and just leave it there. I'm like, okay. So it's just trying to wrap your mind around this new process. Like this is normal now. So I'm like, if there's somebody left some food on my, my doorstep, they'd have got, I'd have been heated. But now that's like the new normal. So it's like, it's just trying to wrap your mind around what is normal now.
My prayer is that the new normal does not last.
I don't know. I don't see things changing because I think people are still scared. If anything, I mean, we may be like this for a while.
Wow.
That's the scary thing to me is that I think this may be the new normal,
Because the reality of it is I don't think COVID-19 is going anywhere. It's gonna always be here, whether it's as prominent as it is right now forever, or if it lessens, the effect lessens as years go on, but it's not going anywhere.
So for me, I thought about, okay, people need their jobs. People need their paychecks. Small businesses, this is all they have. They employ people. They have to keep their doors open. I tell you what, the one thing that Corona has given me, this whole staying at home, thank the Lord for some time out. Listen, I was burnt out. I mean, you going to work, you going to church, you got to go to the grocery store, you got to do this, I got sorority meetings, I got to drive here, I got to go. That was a welcome break, okay? I'm not one of those ones who's like spazzing all out, like I want the world to open back up. I can't take it. My head, I'm just going crazy. I just need to do something. I ain't that girl. Some other things that I've discovered is that there's 3 things that I think that people should think about or take to heart during this epidemic. Number 1 is that, people got a lot of time to spend with their families or whatever. So families are important because you don't know if you're going to be living here today or tomorrow. At any moment, you could be gone. Number two, we need to get our finances in order. I mean, people have gotten laid off where I work. Right now, we're on a 10% reduction. So I would love to have my 100, but I'm grateful for the 90. You just never know. I mean, I understand it from a business standpoint. If the business is not making money, you can't pay out what you're not bringing in.
Right.
And it's just a whole new different thing or whatever. So it's like, spending time with your family, you get to know your kids, you spending more time with your spouse. Now that could be positive or negative or whatever. It's like, hey, you're working on my nerves. You have your finances in order. And it's just like, life itself is precious or whatever. You just never know when, something can happen. And so you just want to kind of make sure, you got those things in order. You guys have any, things that you have learned or things you have appreciated or things you didn't appreciate during this epidemic?
Well, I think
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Juana.
I was just gonna say, well, for me, my story is a little bit different because I like envy everybody who said they had all this time and they were able to do all these things. It's like my
I'm
life
trying to
all of a
find
sudden
out.
got like super busy. So, and it's just a lot of things that I had in place. Like I've always been a busy person, always doing a lot of things at once. But when schools closed down, so now I had the kids, I wasn't able to have that time where I could get a babysitter because no one was coming into your house at that time. I relied a lot on my mom who would help me with the kids, that would give me a break every now and again. But when this happened, I didn't want to put her, in jeopardy of getting, sick or anything. So a lot of the resources that I had originally had in place, I no longer had that. So basically, it's kind of like, I felt, for me, it was overwhelming because now I'm doing something that's detail oriented from home. Not only that, I have to homeschool and I have a 3 and I have a 5-year-old. So it was affecting everything from my business. I mean, you get interrupted every 5 minutes, or you got to break up a fight, or the kids decide they want to do karaoke in the middle of your business meeting. I mean, it's just like every day it was something new. And it was something that I felt like I was just completely overwhelmed at. However, during that time, I also realized is that, I am one of those people that I'm a perfectionist. I want everything to, do be right, fall into this, cute little schedule that I have. And, what this whole thing has taught me is that, what, life doesn't always work that way. So, some of the things that I had to realize is that, what, when my kids want to have a karaoke party, I don't care if I'm in the middle of something, I'm just going to sit down and listen to them. It made me appreciate the little things. Not only that, it helped me even build a better relationship with my kids because there were some things I didn't know about them, some things I didn't know how they felt about me. Like they was like, well, mommy, you're always working, they would make little comments. And I was like, oh man, that's how they see me. So now I have to change that because I don't want my kids to think that this job is ever more important than them. So now I have to, it helped me sit down and kind of understand a lot of things with, my family, my husband, my kids, my business. Maybe I'm biting off too much. There's a lot of things that during this last 3 or 4 months that I've decided I'm not going into 2021 with, that I'm going to, get rid of some things, that I'm not going to do some things. So to me, it was more of a self-discovery time. I learned a lot about myself, about, how much of a perfectionist that I am. I never thought I was before until, all of this happened. And I realized I couldn't control anything. So I'm used to being in control. And I had to realize that you're not in control of everything. And sometimes you just have to go with the flow. You just have to put your trust in God and keep it moving. So I learned a lot about myself during this time, and I am grateful for that. It really just let me stay back and let me look at what's important. Because, this job, they can come in tomorrow and say, guess what, we no longer need you, but your family is always going to be there. They're not leaving you. So it's like, it made me put some things in perspective. What is important and, what things that I can let go or they're not necessary for me to do. So I think it was, very therapeutic. It took me a while to kind of get a hold of everything to kind of add some balance to stuff. But I think once I got it, I really began to look back and appreciate everything that I had went through during the last 3 months.
For me, Corona came around when I was already going through a personal crisis of, you know, my mom being sick, and my life was already upended in that way. So the things that usually were something I can handle became too much. So as a single parent of 5 children, it used to be I was a single parent of 5 children raising my kids with the assistance of my mom. And then my mom got sick, and I became a single parent of 5 children raising them by myself and trying to also be the caregiver for my mom. And so that was a lot. Then Corona happened, and unlike some people, I didn't get to work from home. I am essential. So I still had to get up and go to work every day. And sometimes what was going on is with our agency, certain things were being changed every day. There were different processes coming out every day, different forms that had to be filled out every day. And so it was a lot. And it still is a lot because there still isn't really concrete direction that everybody is going in. And so I still feel that all that has been going on, Joanna said it allowed her to put some things in perspective, be thankful for some things. For me, it has created a lot of anxiety. I am anxious constantly, not only about, you know, going to work, because now I have someone living in my household who has a compromised immune system. So, and I have to go to work every day. And then I have to send my children to daycare, something I've never done with any of my other children, with people that I don't know. That's also some anxiety that's been created. And all of these things are just a combination of, you know, like I said, a personal life crisis that I was dealing with prior to Corona, and then COVID-19 coming into play and changing everything from the way that we work, the way that we shop, the way that we eat, the way that we sleep. You know, towns and cities had curfews. I've never had a curfew, even as a child. So, you know, it's just, it's a lot different. And I am very anxious still at this point. I'm not walking around living my life in fear, but there has not really been an opportunity for me to decompress from all that is going on, to put it all into perspective, to see what it has really done for me as a whole. Because right now, all I can think about is, okay, we've been doing this for a minute. We need to wrap this up because I still haven't eaten dinner. I still need to do a load of laundry. I still got to put my kids to bed. And then I need to log onto my work computer because I need to get some stuff done. Then I need to go to sleep. And then I need to get up at 3 so I can be at work by 4. So, you know, these are the things that go through my head. And all of it has to do with the fact that this has to be done because we're doing it different because of COVID-19. Well, this has to be done because we're doing it different because of COVID-19. I do laundry every day, not because I want to, but because my children go to school every day and I go to work every day. And when we come home, we take our clothes off and I do laundry because of COVID-19. So I just have a lot of anxiety still with this. I can't say I've put anything in perspective from it. I'm not as lucky as the two of you, I guess.
Well, not so much. I mean, Joanna had perspective about herself. For me, Corona, the break that Corona gave the world, you know, me going into work every day, me going in the salon every evening and on Saturday, me going to driving an hour and a half to Seattle for a sorority meeting, me having to be at church on Sunday morning, Sunday evening, and on Wednesday night. My husband, you know, wanting to eat a home cooked meal when I've been at work all day and then got to go to the salon. It's just like, I welcome the break. Not that I like why we have the break, but the break for me, I don't have children, but as you can see, everybody has a different life, and it's a busy life. It's a full life. And so, you know, when you bring children into the mix, that's just a whole animal in itself. So I could not imagine being a mother of children. You guys are over 40 with, you know, a toddler, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old. I would be a cuckoo bird, okay? when I was working and you know, pre-COVID, you know, I had to schedule in cleaning my house. And now that I'm at home, when I'm at work, I'm stuck at the computer for 8 hours or whatever. And it's like, I don't want to touch a vacuum. I don't want to, I'm sick of washing dishes. You cooking at home, so that means you got more dishes. If you got to rinse the dishes and put them in the dishwasher, you might as well wash them. I welcome the break. And then I thought about, you know, hey, I'm missing 10% of my income, but it could be 100 because there's some people that I pay, or that I was paying, but they're not getting checked because they were laid off. Or, you know, there is perspective about it, even from your standpoint. It may not be positive perspective, but there is perspective how you look at this or whatever. So you just try to, you know, you figure it out. Is this the new normal? And if it is, are we ready for it? A lot of people aren't. Some people are like, maybe, you know, bring it on. Or during this time, those people who had, you know, extra time to create a business. Hey, during COVID, we created a podcast. You know, so there's some positive, there's some lights, you know, in all of this madness. But for me, the thing is, you know, I read scripture every day before I wake up or whatever, and I pray and I ask God to lead and guide me throughout the day, you know, give me perspective of the day, help me control my irritation, anger, attitude, or whatever, help me control what I say. And, you know, that's hard in itself because you are dealing with something different than you normally had to deal with. And so, you know, it's different for each person, and you just have to figure it out how to make this work for you. If this is the new normal, what are you going to do? You know, in these different, we just touched on maybe 5 different aspects, but there may be more for other people. Maybe there's different ones for you. So you have to figure out, how is this new normal going to work for you? So I think that, like you guys say, this is not over, and, you know, there's going to be a whole lot more information coming out, you know, things we have to do, things we should do. And so, you know, I just say pray in everything that you do. But before we go, we are introducing a new segment to our podcast, and it's called Cousins Corner. Today, Joanna is going to be highlighting an item that she uses, and we want to use this platform. If there is somebody out there, you have a product or business that you would like for us to advertise or talk about on our Cousins Corner, you can email us at sistacousinsunite@gmail.com. That's SISTA cousins with an S, unite, UNITE @gmail.com. We will be happy, you know, to shout out your business, and, you know, hey, send people to, you know, your pages, your social media sites, your website. So give us a holler. We'll be happy to do that. But today we're going to highlight this product that she really likes. Joanna, you want to show us what it is?
So this is my product today. I don't know if anybody has ever seen this before. I actually saw this on Facebook, and I told my mom about it, and she was like, well, let's buy some. So she bought 2, and then I bought 1. So my daughter is natural. I'm also natural, but my daughter has really, really thick hair. And she does not like to get her hair combed. I mean, literally, I don't think she's tender-headed, but she hates combing her hair. So I was like, I have tried at least 10 different brushes, trying to figure out what would work best for her, what would be the, you know, the least amount of struggle I would get to do her hair, the least amount. And I found this. Now, this brush is very interesting. When it first came in, I was like, this is not gonna work. So it has this little clip on the back where you can hold it so it's like a brush, but you can also release this clip, and it opens up. See, it opens up like this. So once you pull it through the hair, it doesn't really, I mean, it'll go through, but it doesn't really hurt the, you know, my daughter at all. So she actually loves this. When I go to brush her hair, this is the only brush I can use that she will not cry.
It's a detangling brush, right?
It is a detangler brush. I don't even know if it has a name. I just know that I found it on Amazon. It is a detangler hair brush, and it is great. I actually love this. My daughter, she's 3, and I use this for her hair every day. But it has been a godsend for me. So if you see this out there.
What's the difference if you have the little clip on the back versus what does it do to the hair?
The little clip on the back allows it to be like a brush, a solid brush, so it won't open up.
Okay.
So you can use it either way. This is the way that I mostly use it, like this for my daughter's hair. But when I use it on my hair, I usually put the clip in because I don't need that resistance on there.
So I have one. I ordered one. It was I'm on this website or this page on Facebook called Zillionaires, and so they had it. I think it was $1 and something. I'm not sure what you paid for yours, but it came from China, so it took like 3 months for me to get this stupid brush. So I haven't used it yet, but I'm eager because I saw a lot of people using it, said it was really good, so I'm excited to use it. Okay, well,
as you can see, and I want to talk about the brush just because I
okay, we'll talk about.
I don't want to talk about the brush.
Girl, go ahead.
I understand. But I like it. I've seen it on social media, different social media platforms, and it looks like it's a great tool to use for somebody who has, like Zoe has, that really thick
she is really
hair.
thick hair.
Rachel really don't have any hair right now. She's still going through her George Jefferson phase. But I'm gonna go ahead and purchase one just in case.
Just in case. Yeah. Well, Peyton, her hair doesn't tangle up so much, huh?
Peyton is 2 weeks away from getting a haircut. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Oh, I hate when you cut her hair off.
I'm not cutting it off this time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do want to say that we did get some feedback about this Walmart versus Target, okay? The feedback that I saw, okay, unfortunately, people do like Target better, okay? However,
say it one more time.
They say that they feel that Target is more neater put together. Things are more compiled. However, that coin, they still buy their groceries from Walmart because that coin stretches a long way there. So to me, you can say all you want that Target is better. If Target was better, you would solely shop at Target. You wouldn't be going back and forth and teeter-tottering. I
don't solely shop anywhere. I go to 4 different grocery stores on Sunday. So
you might, depending on how far away, you might as well just stay at one. Because that's why I go to Walmart. Because the grocery stores here, we got Safeway and Hagen's. And Hagen's, honey, put you on the mind of like a Whole Foods is more expensive. Safeway will put you in the mindset of Publix, but it's still expensive. And Walmart just hit just right. It's below all of it. And they got the same stuff. Now, the quality, I will say, of produce and meats at Safeway and Hagen's is a little bit better than Walmart. But we also have another store called what's it called? Fred Meyer. I think Fred Meyer is the cousin or the sister or brother, whoever, to Publix.
Okay.
I forget the sister name of it. But so yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that, people, they did root, saying for Target, but they did say, but I still buy my groceries from Walmart. So I'm like, well, what does that mean?
No, they still cheaper.
What does that mean? So you ladies have anything else that you would like to say before I close this out?
No, just thank you to the viewers for coming out. Our cousin Yazid has stated that he loves the podcast. He thinks y'all are hilarious. So thanks for watching, cousin. We appreciate you.
So as always, we would like for you to comment, like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. We love the feedback. Please continue to post up under, send us some emails, send us some text messages. We do take your feedback into consideration. So we appreciate all of the support. We ask that you guys continue to support us. And again, if you want us to advertise your business or product that you have or sell, we will be doing a Cousins Corner probably each episode. And sometimes in that Cousins Corner, we'll have a special guest actually bring their product or talk about their business live for themselves. So until next time, peace and hair grease.